We're live. We're live there. We are live. We're going live everywhere. Everywhere is live. That's not going to work. Let's just come down like that. Yes. Right. Collateral information technology IT issue. Nearly as bad as my haircut, where nothing was working. But now we are on. So we're an hour late. I was going to make a gag of like, clocks went back, and I'm an hour behind. I'm just going to adjust the Instagrammers slightly. Right, and cool workout today. From taking some principles from Bodyweight Basics, and we're going to be looking at what we're doing around this midsection. And it is not the shirt off is because, and this is the first outing of so we are shirt is off, not because we always do stuff shirts off. It's not clickbait, although people will watch a lot more videos when someone's got their shirt off, apparently. So we'll see how that goes. But I want you to be able to see it and not being hidden by the top, by the t-shirt logo. So that is why the shirt's off. The other thing you're going to need is, we're going to go through some basics and some principles, but you're going to need a pair of socks. Don't be coming up in here with any old plain ass white socks. You need to be coming up with something strong like this, like bang, bang, bang. These are Stance, who I'm a massive fan of, despite sharing stuff about their amazing socks all the time. They still won't send me anything slippy. But we're going to start with the basics and understand the principle. We're going to go through some exercises that are in Bodyweight Basics as a tutorial. Remember that Bodyweight Basics is a program that we've had around for a long time. There's over 25,000 people now inside the virtual classroom using our programs. And Bodyweight Basics is one of the best ones, the most favourite ones that allows a lot of your training to be done from home at the free program. So we're going to start with understanding a principle. We're going to go into a dead bug. So I'm going to come down onto the floor here. And what you're going to do is, you can follow on with me, is a couple of things we want to know. We want to understand what we're doing. Our dead bug position would start here. That's my back on the floor. Dead bug position would start here. For legs vertical, arms vertical. Now in this shape, I can pull my ribs down and suck my belly button up, which just flattens the back off here. And you can see I can't get my hand underneath. Down and pulling your tummy button up. So those two things are going to come together. My job then in my dead bug is to maintain this position, this tension, this ground, or as low as they can go before that arch happens. If that arch happens, you've gone too far. So my job is, I'm going to suck belly button in, head is nice and relaxed, ribs down. In my dead bug position, opposite arm, opposite leg go away. I come back to the middle. And I swap sides. Notice that this hand and this leg aren't moving. They're not coming towards the middle. That's your brain's way of trying to make it easier. As you take something away from the midline, your body wants to bring stuff towards it. So we're going to keep them fixed. So only the ones you're moving, move, under control. Ideally, want to go tempo-wise at 3, 2, 1, hold for 1, 2, back to the middle. The whole time maintain that shape. At no point am I going away and losing that position. If you find that happens, just go to where you can and back through. To where you can and back through. To where you can and back through. If that starts to feel good, we can challenge ourselves by taking more things away from that pivot point, from that central point. So that would be, I feel that's good. I've maybe on building up to trying to do sort of like 10 to 20 reps of those. Once that feels good, again, head is relaxed, in neutral, connected to the floor. Lower back is connected to the floor by pulling ribs down and sucking tummy button up. Rather than taking one arm and one leg away, this time I'm going to take both away. That position, you can see that arch in the back and ribs popped up. That's you going too far. You're going to start to feel your lower back working more than your core is working. So just to reiterate it, suck belly button up, pull rib cage down, hands and feet go away, maintaining that position all the way down. That's still in contact. Come back up. Again, from working at 10 to 20 reps of these. building it up. So as I'm talking now and explaining, you can do a couple more of those. Obviously, you can work back and go through these. And there's, as I say, the tutorials and the full program for you to follow in Bodyweight Basics as well. Let's go through 5 together with that tempo, that 3, 2, 1 tempo. So the first number is always the way down. The bottom number is where you hold it. The middle number is where you hold it at the bottom. And the last number is coming back up. So we're going to go. If you can only go to this position before your back wants to arch, I just want you to go to wherever you can. But we're going to go through that tempo. So we're going to go down in 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2, 1, 2. Back up. 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2. Back up. 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2. Back up. 2 more. I think I can go. 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2. Back up. It's actually hard counting tempo and then trying to count the reps as well. 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2. Back up. Great. So that's just 5 reps at a nice controlled tempo. Work again, as I said, work through the range that you can control and you're in control of, not breaking out to that shape. Just to reiterate that point up, we're trying to stay in this position rather than letting that lower back arm of this. In that, once you've got yourself in a position where you can take that full straight position and you can maintain good line here, not arching, you can maintain that down. What we're going to try and do is then actually we are going to lift the upper back and the head off the floor. We're going to hold an isometric hold, so a static hold at the bottom. We're going to go for sort of 10 seconds. So your job is, again, to work where you're at. So if you can only get to here, that's fine, but you're going to pull your chest, so you're going to pull your upper back and neck off the ground. I'm going to go all the way down, so I'm going to go all the way down. I'm going to pull my upper back off the front, and I'm going to hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that would be what we call like a hold. In gymnastics, that we call a hollow body hold. Making that sort of like dish shape, we're trying to make as great a connection as we can through the whole of that sort of anterior chain, that front part of the body. I'm now going to take us, that we call that lying on the floor on our back, a supine position, so on the back. We're going to go into a prone position where we're going to be on our front, and that's going to be, we're going to try and make that same shape we just did, but again, we're going to build it up gradually. The thing we were doing when we were on the floor then was we were trying to maintain this position where we were saying, rather than dropping into that anterior tilt, so the pelvis dropping down and your ribs lifting up and having that arch in the lower back, you can see there, we're trying to suck the pelvis the other way, suck the belly button up, pull ribs down, and maintain a position where here we were connected to the floor. When we go now prone on our front, we're not going to be connected, have anything touching our lower back, but we need to maintain the same position. So this is building upon this. This is building upon a walkout or caterpillar, which is one of our favourite exercises in Bodyweight Basics. Again, free program, do check it out, share with your friends as well. We've made it free to help people train at home now, but I'm going to take you through some of those tutorials for that in there as well. So you're going to go to a press-up position. And what I'm going to make sure that I'm doing is I'm not arching through here. Can you see the difference? The hips have slumped down and there's that arch in that lower back, the white background. If I really accentuate it, it's like that. And I can feel those erectors around the lower part of my spine working really hard. We don't want that. We want the feeling to be working front. If you come back to me after this and go in the comments, you're like, Jacko, love that. Really felt my back with lower back working as well. It feels like I'm really strengthening my lower back. No, we're not doing it correctly. So make sure you're feeling it in the front and you're not losing that shape. It might be great for you to video yourself. As I'm doing this now, I can see myself on the video, so I can see the shape I'm making. It's actually really, really good feedback for you. So, not arched, I'm tucking that pelvis underneath. I'm actually squeezing my glutes, and the same cue, pulling ribs down and belly button up together. I'm now going to walk my hands forward, but maintain that shape, and then I'm going to walk my hands back. So tucked under, Sucking belly button up, ribs down, but maintain that shape, squeeze glutes. Slide hands forward. Walk hands back. We can walk them out, walk them back. We're starting now to integrate the midsection into you'll feel your glutes working, you'll feel your hip flexors working, you'll feel your shoulders working. We're integrating the core throughout the rest of the kinetic chain. That means into the rest of your body. That's something that we need to. Its job is not to work in isolation. So just doing endless sit-ups isn't teaching your core musculature to work in a way to stabilize your spine and help integrate the upper and lower extremities. So these are the types of things that we want to do to, have some good stuff with our training, but it's also going to help us to move better and be sort of more athletic with our functional movement. So it's always a good thing to make sure we're doing these positions correctly. So from there, what we're going to do is we're going to see how far we can go without letting the lower back drop out. So if I start in this position, tuck pelvis underneath, I'm going to slide and go as far as I can before I see. Don't let that happen. You can see that? I want to make sure hands back out. Slide in. And I get all the way down to the floor. Walk the hands back out. Again, working progressively through that. So work as far as you can. But the thing we're trying to stop happening is that breakout. So I don't want to see those hips flare up. We don't want to see that lower back arching. With the dead bug, the nice thing is when you're on your back, you can feel the floor. And as soon as your back arches like that, you can't feel the floor anymore, so you know that you've lost it. Here, you need to be a little bit more mindful about your movement. Maybe it's that you video yourself on that as well. But either way, it's just a slightly more, you're less supported because you're not on the floor, so it's going to be a little bit harder. So these are progressively getting more difficult. Once that feels good and enjoying that, let's bring the hamstrings into play. So a little bit of flexibility for those bad boys at the back. And it also is going to challenge us with our positioning in that you are, rather than set there, here, when I start, I'm setting myself and go, right, set, maintain that as I walk out. We're going to walk ourselves into that press-up position. As I bring the hips down, I want to bring them down into that shape and not into that shape. The hands, I can turn around, and then I can come back. So down, feel that stretch in the hamstrings, hands go onto the floor, walk, start thinking about that pelvis position already, get the bum tucked underneath, and then slide out. And then this time, I've got the option of, I'm going to walk the hands back, rather than walking the feet to the hands. So both are valid. Get your socks. Get your socks. Bit of a slippy floor. It's going to be helpful as well. And it might be that you put a tea towel down under your feet. Something's going to let your feet slide. So you know where this is going. Literally these. Well, you know where these are going. These are going on my feet. So we're going to put socks on. Hopefully, remember, do not. You're only holding yourself back. You've got to do things differently. So socks are going to go on. It's a joke. Obviously, all socks work. We're going to go into that push-up shape. So we're going to go into that push-up. And we're going to come forward slightly. So we're going to go into that push-up shape and then stay tucked underneath. And now we're going to slide ourselves back before you're going to start to really feel that. One of the big things on it to avoid is, so that tucked under position, as I drive back, it's okay holding it. It's when I pull hip forward here, the hips want to sag down and want to get that arch in the back to come forward. So that's what we're trying to avoid. So I'm trying to stay tucked under, I drive back. When I pull forward, we're trying really hard to maintain that same alignment. You need to only work to where you can. Like, so if I show you me going too far, if I do a bad one, so from here, I stay tucked under. If I go all the way to here, and then pull back, That was too far. I could feel that you're going to feel it on this. You're going to feel the lower back go round, crank on. It's going to pull the pelvis. That's too far. You need to work where you can, work with control. So to make sure that it's here that's working and not sending messages up as going on. That lower back core exercise you did was great. No, it's not for the lower back. So that's one thing for you. So sliding back where you can maintain that position, come forward. Under control, slide back, come forward. Then I want us to play around with. We're sliding back, we come forward and pull all the way up. Bring the feet towards the hands, and then now, like we did those ones before, make that connection through the midsection. So the hips are already tucked in line, not cranked underneath there. We drive back, pull forward and up, 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 up. Get the hamstrings going, and then drive back, drive forward, and up. So that's a nice one for you in your socks as well. It's a nice one for you. So you in your socks as well as core is recognized. You can hear me out of breath. Some of the easier exercises at the beginning, like your dead bugs, we're looking at like 10 to 20 reps of those, slightly higher volume, the more stabilizing structures around the core that are trying to work. But for some of these ones, that's like hard. It's going to be like 8 to 12 reps. Work where you can. Don't work so much that you lose that tucked in, ribs down, to maintain that good alignment rather than arching, letting ribs flare up and bum kick back and having that arc in the lower back. That's what we're trying to avoid. Whether you're in your dead bug on your back, or whether you're on your front in some of these walkout prone positions, same principles apply, and that can go through into your levers and everything else you do, press ups, or whatever movement you're doing, that needs to be a principle that you're going to go and use. We've got in Bodyweight Basics the program that we've made free for everyone during this period. They've got all those exercises, tutorials, and everywhere throughout Bodyweight Basics, we've got these principles explained. So we have a regression, so an easier version, and the progression of every exercise. It means that what we want trying to do with the School of Calisthenics ever since we started was help to educate you. That's why we called it school, educate you so you understand the principles behind what we're doing. If you can take that principle of that core alignment that I was just talking about and showing, and hopefully it's come through all the way, take that principle, you can then play with this. Like I showed you a few different variations. We had a bit of fun by putting some crazy stuff. They're playing white, playing black, I still love it. But understanding that principle lets you play around with that. We could do some arm raises, we can do some rotations. You have the ability to play and explore those movements, and there's nothing wrong as long as you are keeping the key pillar principle that's holding that together in mind when you're going through those shapes. So as long as you're doing that, then you've got no problem at all playing around with it. And hopefully you've understood that principle. You can carry that through to any of your training that you're going to go and do moving forward. So hope that's been helpful. Remember, Bodyweight Basics, we've opened it up for free to help people during this period. So hope it helps you. Make sure you go and check it out. If you think a friend, family, or loved one would be helpful for them to be able to train and carry on moving and stay healthy and happy at home, that's what it's about. So please do share it with any of those. And we're going to be running lives every day. So jump onto the lives wherever you are. We're on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're trying to be everywhere as best we can. And these will be uploaded to YouTube later as well, so that if you want to go back and revisit them, they're going to be in a playlist on YouTube as well. As I said, there's like full tutorials and a full program for all of this and more inside the virtual classroom for Bodyweight Basics. Virtual classrooms. There's a whole community of people in there to join and connect with as well, which during this period, staying connected with other people that are like-minded is also very, very beneficial. So thank you all for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. And we'll see you next time on the next live we have. Thanks for watching. Class dismissed.